Today we're making chicken stroganoff. This one is creamy, comforting, perfect for cool weather. Here are the ingredients. Let's get into it right now. Okay, I always like to go over the ingredients. It helps me, but more importantly, it helps you. You should always set up a recipe like this, especially something like this where it has a ton of ingredients, because then you're gonna be looking for stuff. You're gonna be like, where's that paprika? Oh, I don't have any paprika. Now I gotta go to the store. Okay, so just get everything set up. It will help you. I have over here chicken. There's 4 breasts here, but 3 breasts will be fine. Use about 1.5 pounds worth. You can also use chicken thighs if you like. Okay, that's fine too. I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and I have 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Also, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to that, and we're just gonna mix that in this bowl, let it marinate for 30 minutes or so, but I think it's better to do it overnight if you can. This recipe is not the same as my beef stroganoff, which was a very popular video for us about a year ago. If you've been watching this channel, you probably have seen that video. Instead of just substituting, like keeping all the ingredients and just substituting chicken for beef, I figured let's make something like original here, okay? So you will notice that there are differences. Something that's the same though is 1.5 pounds of mushrooms, okay? Mushrooms are great in stroganoff, so we're gonna use a lot of them. I sliced them fairly thick, okay? Just like that. You can do them thin if you like, all right, it's fine. We have 1 large onion that I just sliced. I have 2 cups of low sodium or reduced sodium chicken base for chicken stock, but chicken stock, homemade chicken stock is even better, just something like that. And if we need more liquid, we could add some like pasta water or more stock. We have a 1/2 cup of dry white wine that's gonna add to the tanginess here in this dish. I have 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. It's gonna create more tanginess. I have 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, whatever you wanna call it, sauce, okay? I have 1/4 cup of flour. That's gonna give us a roux, so it's gonna help thicken it up. I have 2 teaspoons of Hungarian paprika. I don't know if you can see that over here. There it is, okay, sneaking over there. 6 tablespoons of butter. That's gonna make our roux with the flour. Then at the end, we have a 1/2 cup of cream and a 1/2 cup of sour cream. That gets mixed into it to make this delicious, creamy stroganoff sauce. So what is different from the beef one? Well, the beef one I had allspice and some different spices. I think with this one, especially most of the recipes I looked at online, they all had paprika. So I said, let me do some paprika here. And then the final thing are these pickles. So when we put out the beef stroganoff, we got like tons of comments about it. And a lot of them were like, where are the pickles? So I did some research, and pickles are often served chopped like this with stroganoff at the end. I think it's a Polish thing, but I'm not certain. All right, enough babbling. Let's marinate the chicken. By the way, when you see this, we have 1 million subscribers now, and it's thanks to you. When you get 1 million subscribers on YouTube, they send you an apron like this. Now, we did a lot of photos for our cookbook that's coming out in October. And, you know, Tara and I, we were discussing, should I wear an apron or not? We thought it looked more professional. Turns out I like this apron, so I think I'm gonna just continue wearing it from now on. Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon.
What sauce?
Worcestershire sauce. No, Worcestershire sauce, they say. This is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Pepper. Okay, and you can put a little bit of salt in there, but there's salt in the Worcestershire. I used to make fun of these so much, but I don't feel like using a spoon here or my bare hand. Okay, and again, 1.5 pounds of chicken, which, you know, if you get dinosaur chicken breasts, that'll be like 2 or 3. And if you get like normal sized chicken breasts, probably be about 4. I want to put these in the fridge for at least 30 minutes, but you know, if you could do this early on in the day, it would be great. You could even do it overnight. Okay, so we have a lot of ingredients here between the chicken, the cream, the mushrooms, the onions. So break out a big pan. I'm going to use a 14-inch stainless pan here. Okay, this one has been through a lot. Going to heat this pan up to medium, okay? Maybe even a touch less than medium. You have a stainless pan, you don't need a ton of heat. I love stainless pans. If you've been noticing in a lot of my videos lately, I've been using hard anodized, not Teflon coated nonstick. Hard anodized, they don't have the same nonstick properties as a Teflon nonstick, but they're good. They can go in the oven too. But I've been using them primarily for pictures because they give contrast. But if you want to cook with the best pan, use stainless, okay? And cast iron pans, I'm not a big fan of them for a variety of reasons, especially when you're on a burner like this. It's just sides aren't going to get hot. With this, we're going to be able to cook chicken and sear it nicely all the way over here, all the way over here. With a cast iron, the only hot spot would be in the middle pretty much. It's good for certain things, but not for something like this. Okay, you can put a little bit of water, see if your pan is ready. Okay, that means like nothing's gonna stick. It'll be good. Okay, I'm putting a couple tablespoons of neutral oil. I'm using avocado oil because I got a big bottle of it from Costco. If you're cooking on a regular stovetop that's dead level, you'll be fine. Mine's not. Everything's tilted this way, so I'm just gonna give it a little help and coat the other side here. If your chicken's really wet, give it a little pat dry, okay, because you're not putting too much moisture in the pan. Okay, and again, my oil's all tilting this way, so I'm just gonna go like this. And we're gonna let it go for like 3-4 minutes on one side, flip it, do a couple minutes on the other side. We're just trying to get a little bit of color on these, then we'll take them out, we'll let them rest. Okay, if I heated up my pan correctly, which I did, because I do everything correctly, I'm the best cook ever on YouTube, the chicken will come off immediately, okay? It will not stick. So let's see. Yes. And look at that beautiful color because of the Worcestershire sauce. Okay, they're like kind of skate on there. And then we're gonna do these for a couple more minutes. The chicken doesn't have to be cooked all the way through. We'll let it rest for a little bit, we'll slice it, and then we're gonna add it back into the stroganoff sauce at the end to simmer. Just make sure you get some nice color on it. It'll make it taste better. You can put one of these. This is like, you know, I've been using this a lot. This is just a heavy smash burger thing. It'll just give more contact to the chicken. You could also just take your cast iron pan that you probably don't really like either and put it on top of there, and it will really put a lot of weight on top. You'll be able to develop more flavor at the bottom. Okay, so the chicken's not all the way cooked through yet. Okay, it's still a little squishy right here, but it's fine. You can pull it out now, okay? Beautiful color on both sides. Really nice. All right, just tent it with foil on the side, okay? And then just add your mushrooms into the same pan. So we can switch over to olive oil now. You can add a couple tablespoons. You don't have to put olive oil at this point. The mushrooms are going to release their water either way, okay? Some, like pro chefs, guys with a couple Michelin stars at their restaurants, some of them will cook them this way. Then some other people won't. And then people on the internet, like in the YouTube comments, will argue about which way is the better way to do it. It doesn't really matter in the end. It doesn't, okay? You can turn the heat up a little bit here too. The thing with cooking, there's lots of good ways to get to the finish line and have amazing recipes. And you'll, you know, if you work in commercial kitchens, you'll see people will do things very differently depending on, you know, who's running the show. Okay, just a little tent on that chicken. So the mushrooms have been going for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You can see the pan. See how dark it is from where the chicken is, where the chicken spots were? You can get rid of that now if you want. Say if you're, like if it's super black and you're worried about burning, you could just put a little bit of your stock in there. Okay, just the stock we're gonna use. And then you can just scrape it off. The mushrooms are sponges. They're gonna absorb all the liquid anyway, just like they absorbed all the oil that I put in. And then once they reach a point, they will start releasing everything again. All right, so this isn't gonna really do anything except for clean your pan a little bit if you're worried. Okay, so our pan is relatively clean now. See this? See how it used to be all black, now it's clear. All right, we'll let these keep going. Okay, so now they are starting to release their water. Let them release everything. You could turn the heat up even more. It evaporates. Then you'll start to get a nice browning action on your mushrooms. Some of them are already brown. When they initially hit the pan, they get brown. All the water's evaporated now. I have my heat about medium, touch more, and just let them get nice and brown. See this? It's gonna start, your pan's gonna start darkening again now. Especially if you're working with stainless, you know. If you're working with a hard anodize or non-stick. Look, I don't recommend non-stick. I do recommend it for eggs. I think it's good for fish. That's really the only time. This is a hard anodized pan, okay? That's not a Teflon coated pan.
People get very upset when you use Teflon.
They think they're all Teflon, and that's why, you know, maybe we'll make like an episode on it, but, you know, they're not. Okay, so look, these are nice. See how nice and brown they're getting now? Okay, you can season them up with a little bit of salt now. Pepper. You gotta hear them once they're hitting now. They're browning. And just take them out. Pan's back. Add your onions, okay? That's 1 large onion that I sliced. About 3 tablespoons of olive oil. About 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're gonna cook these until they get moderately brown, nice soft, probably about 10 to 15 minutes on about medium heat. You can put a little bit of salt on those onions too. That'll just help release their water a little bit quicker. And these have been going for about 3 minutes, okay? So about 10 to 15 we wanna cook them for. While those onions are going, you can slice up your chicken. Save all the juices from your chicken. That's why I have have it all in this, tray, so it'll catch everything. Okay, these are not going to be cooked all the way through, so see how it's like this still, which is fine. It's going to all cook in there anyway. But you can cook it all the way through too if you want. Just only maybe cook it for a few minutes then after it goes into the sauce so it doesn't dry out. Now, Tara, you want me to do strips or do you want me to do like chunks?
I think strips would be good.
I'll show them both ways, okay? So chunks would be down the middle like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like this.
Yeah. I like strips for this because I feel like the strips are going to mimic the shape of the noodles.
Yeah, so strips, you can just go like this. I think they're a little big, the strips, it's the only thing, but... So the onions have been like 10 minutes. By the way, you can serve this over egg noodles, which is what I'm gonna do for the taste tester, and that's why I have this other bit of butter. So it says 6 tablespoons of butter divided, so we used half for now. The other half will be for the egg noodles. You can use less if you like. It's really good on mashed potatoes too. But yeah, these onions are looking good, all right? This is like beautiful. And then here is our flour, okay? It's about 1/4 cup, all right? That's combining with the fat here from the butter and oil. Let's cook this flour out for a couple minutes, okay? We don't want any white specks left in the pan here. All right, we're gonna cook this for another minute and then we'll dump in that liquid. Okay, so that's gone for a couple minutes. Smells nice and nutty. If you were to keep cooking it like this, it would give you more of that flavor. So you can do that if you like. This is 2 cups of reduced sodium chicken base. That's a 1/2 cup of dry white wine. Turn it up to high. With the flat edge of your wooden spoon, okay? That's why it's better to use a flat edge wooden spoon. You should definitely have a few of these in the kitchen. Just scrape up all the brown bits, okay? This is very thick already here. All right, now look, if it's like you're looking at this and it's too thick, just add more liquid. And I probably will add another cup of stock. We're gonna need another cup of stock. I misspoke. It shouldn't be 2 cups, it should be 3 cups here. All right, I'm gonna turn that off right now, get myself another cup. Okay, so really quickly, I just grabbed myself another cup of chicken stock, and that's going in there. So it should not have been 2 cups, it should have been 3 cups. I messed up, or I used too much flour. So now, if I use less flour, maybe I didn't need it. That's fine. It's nice to have a lot of sauce here, and we're probably gonna need this much for all that chicken that we have. All right, we'll bring this back to a simmer here. This will simmer very quickly. Put in the chicken and all the juices. So now remember, this chicken, it was a little bit undercooked on there, so we have to let it cook in here for a few minutes. You'll be able to tell very easily just by looking at it. 1 tablespoon Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons Hungarian paprika. I went on like this paprika buying spree from like getting all like really good Hungarian paprika. I got sweet, I got hot, I got smoked. It does make a difference. It is a much better product. Like the stuff you buy like regular in the store, like at Costco, it's just like red dust. Like it has like 0 taste to it. Let's let this simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes so that chicken cooks all the way through. Doesn't need to be so high. And then at this point, you can just boil your noodles. I like these Pennsylvania Dutch ones. They're really good, but any type would be fine. You could even use pasta, regular pasta, pappardelle, that would be nice, or mashed potatoes. Am I missing something else to serve this with? Maybe people serve it with rice?
What about like dumplings? Like
dumplings.
Like spätzle
Oh, spätzle. I love spätzle. So good. I almost forgot. They were hiding behind me. The mushrooms got to go back in too. Oh yeah, that makes it. I was like, it didn't look. So it's like something big is missing here. That was like really big. Okay, that's looking good. We'll let it simmer a couple more minutes. Okay, my noodles are almost done. You can add in your heavy cream and your sour cream. The reason I use both is just because if you put straight sour cream in here, it might break on you. If you put the heavy cream in there, it's kind of like you're assured that it won't. This is 35% fat, okay? There's that sour cream. Have your heat very low now. Mix this in. By the way, 1/2 cup heavy cream is 120 mLs, and then 1/2 cup of sour cream is, it says 120 grams. Not sure if that's correct. Sometimes it'll like break a touch initially, and then it'll come right back when the more fat from the cream circulates. If a sauce ever does break on you, and you're not like you don't care about the looks, it's not going to change the taste at all. It will still be good, but appearance is a lot, so a lot of times that is very important to people. But normally you can just add more of your fat to cream, more cream, and it will just re-emulsify again. All right, we got to let this cook a little bit more, simmering on the low heat. My noodles are right here. I just dumped them. And I just put a couple tablespoons of butter on there. Also, you're probably not gonna need it, but save some pasta water just in case, because all that'll do then is you can just add it in there if it if everything starts drying out a bit. All right, let me toss these noodles. Okay, and then you can lower this now to just a touch. See how the consistency of this is really nice now, like that. And this is gonna thicken up dramatically even as you're just like waiting for people to come down to the table. Let's taste it though. So our chicken is completely cooked through, okay? You gotta make sure of that too before you call it ready, okay? That is good. Needs a little salt and a little bit of pepper. I really like the tanginess of it.
A little heavy with that pepper there.
Nah, it wasn't coming out very fast, And it's so much here, so this says 6 for 6. We cook good portions here. All right, let's serve this one up for the taste tester.
Really good.
It's been 3 hours since I made it, okay? I made this at 2 o'clock, it's now 5. I suspect if I put it in the fridge and brought him in here tomorrow, it would do even better. Do you remember the beef stroganoff, James, or not?
Yeah, I do. I'm not sure which one I like more, actually.
I put different spices in this one, so it's a little bit different flavor profile.
It still tastes pretty similar. The color's a lot different, though.
Yes.
This pasta's hard to pick up. It's really good.
Okay.
I think I gave the beef stroganoff 10 out of 10. And to be honest, I'm gonna give this the same.
Yes!
It's really good. It's just like amazing. The nutmeg.
There is no nutmeg in it.
Cut that part out.
No. Leave it. There's no nutmeg in it.
I don't know what I'm tasting.
You're tasting. I mean, there's a lot of Worcestershire sauce in there. Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, the Worcestershire.
There's Dijon mustard. There's Hungarian paprika.
Yeah, I'm tasting the Worcestershire. That's what I meant to say. The Worcestershire is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I changed it up this time. I didn't want to have the same spices. Last time I did allspice and the nutmeg.
Really good.
Good. Well, that's good. I mean, it just goes to show you, if you mix cream into anything, like with mushrooms and stuff, you have a chance of getting a 10.
I think Worcestershire and mushroom is like a really good combo.
Yep.
Brings everything together.
Yeah. I had it before and I thought it was amazing. I didn't know if you were going to give it a 10. Yeah, I mean, it's a good option if you don't want to do beef. If, say, like, you're just sick of beef. Chicken's inexpensive. I mean, you could do this with pork as well.
Yeah.
Like a pork loin, cube it. All right. Anything else you want to say about this, James?
Amazing.
Okay. There you go. We will see you next time.